Y'all want me to dig into this?
Hold on, let's let Corey start this.
Yep, somebody got
Yeah, you go ahead and start.
I don't think I'm qualified to answer
listen,
this.
I say
very
issue
qualified.
because every time I hear men saying I can't date a single mom because of this,
Okay.
this, and then is it an issue for? Well, everybody's taken, but would it be an issue if nobody was?
So, here will be my answer. There's not necessarily a limit on how many kids, as long as you still want to give me as many kids as I would like. So if you got 5, but you still want to give me 5, then I'm probably cool with it. But if you got 1 and you only trying to have 1 more, then at that point I might be like, that's kind of tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a guy who, like, I deeply desire to have a little bit of a bigger family.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be one deal breaker for me. The other deal breaker is how much drama am I getting into with you being a single mom. If there's no drama, then I don't have any problems. And lastly, if I'm gonna date you as a single mom, I don't like to say at this age if I'm gonna date you as a single mom. If we're gonna get married and you're a single mom and we're getting together, and the goal is to marry. I grew up with a lot of step siblings, and my parents parented them as if, like they parented me. So that's what I grew up learning. That's what I am going to do. If I'm going to have stepchildren, I want to parent them as if, like, I don't want to show,
yours.
right, if they're mine. So if you're going to stop me from parenting your child, but you want me to do something else with mine, then it's like at that point, there was no difference in my household. Like, my mom would my brothers and sisters as she would me, and my dad never said nothing to her, and vice versa. So
I grew up with a stepbrother. I didn't even know he was my stepbrother, so I think it was 2nd grade. And somebody was like, "Oh, so it's your stepbrother." I was like, "What's that?" I didn't even know what it was. Cause like that's how my parents were, and that's how that's how I think it should be. As someone who has married someone who was a single mom, I think I can't talk about it. I think one of the biggest hesitations is when you date a woman with no kids, you could be that woman's everything. When you date a woman with a kid, you come second. Ain't no, you never first. You don't even get that. It's like it sucks. Like you gotta see something in that woman so valuable that you like. Alright, I'm gonna let that kid slide for right now. Till I can marry that woman. But for real, there is a level of hierarchy that you go into when you date a single mom. That for a lot of men, it's like, why would I do that? Why would I can't be with you tonight because so and so. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
And it's only because there's an alternative.
Yeah.
Like for instance, I feel like, I mean, of course, obviously, everybody can't be a single mom. But if all women already had kids before you guys would. Sure, there wouldn't be no issue because we know that it comes with the package. But if we know that there is an alternative to where you can be great as you are, but then you can have another one just as good as you are, just as great without a kid.
Yeah.
And that's that's just it. So I think with that, I mean, not to maybe I don't want to so much give advice, but in some ways, like if you can reassure that man. Now, of course. We're not saying we're not saying that your kid is the number one priority because it absolutely
it's gonna be every time.
And as a man, we have to understand that,
yeah.
right? But if you can reassure that the importance of our relationship is just as important as it can get to the stage of being just as important as my relationship as your child, then we can see like, okay, all right, yeah, I can do this, and then yeah, I think that's the basis. But if we always are gonna feel like I've been with you for a year and a half and I still feel like I'm gonna be second fiddle forever, then that's you can't.
And then what's that kid like? Like, is that a bad little kid? I ain't dealing with nobody's bad little kid. I'm not doing it. If the kid talking about something, you ain't my daddy, I'm not dealing with it. If the kid staring at you in the face like, why you here looking at my mama? Like, I'm not dealing with it. If your kid's an issue, I'm not dealing with it.
It's like if the kid has a specific mental issue or like physical issue. Like that's a big undertaking that you're asking somebody to step into.
Yeah.
And so it's we talked about this before, but it's an unfortunate truth. It's just like it's gonna be more difficult for you.
Absolutely.
It just is, and it's okay. But you just gotta realize, like, okay, I got more on my plate than I got a whole nother life on my plate. I got somebody else eating off of my plate already, and before I can bring this to any man, so they gotta understand that I gotta be okay with that. So a lot of times, what I see at least, in my friend groups and people around, a lot of times it takes another single father or a father who's like already experienced children, or or is okay with that, like, or has some type of relationship with that prior to you. So what it's easier to step into.
I would say there's probably a line drawn to what Leonard said about like how bad the kid is. For me, is how bad are you at what age? Because you get to a point as a kid where like once you're a teenager and you done learned all these bad habits, is probably too much to.
Too late.
It's
not too late for the kid, but
No,
it's too late.
A lot of times it's
right.
And that sounds crazy, but it just takes a lot more to change behaviors as a teenager with you ain't never had no consistent father or whatever the case may be versus you 5 years old. Like those behaviors can be changed. So I think there's a line if I'm coming in and your kid 15 and he or she doing such and such, then at that point I'm like, nah, that's not. I'm not gonna battle with a teenager. With a kid, I can get that.
I got a couple things just to go a little more detail. What's the dad like? Am I dealing with pops? Is dad around? Is there drama? Is it drama free, but he be flirting on the slide still?
Cause they love their baby daddies. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna lie.
I still call them to get their tires changed.
Yo. Anyway,
I just
my man is Curry in the Olympics. You feel me? Anyways, so that's one thing, and then another thing for me is the fact that I'm like, now I have to step in and become a father. I wanted to be married, and I was ready to be a boyfriend and work towards marriage. But I have to step in right now as father. I don't even get the 9 months to prepare. You know what I'm saying? I don't even get to call. Hey, Dad, we need to talk. I'm like, what happened? Is it something big? Let's meet with Pop. Say, yeah. Turns out I got so and so pregnant. I'm scared.
Right.
I don't even get that.
Right.
I don't get no preparation. It's all right. You want to be with me? I got this kid.
Yeah.
You gonna be a daddy? Like, dang.
Yeah.
There's nothing else for me. So there's a lot that comes with dating a lady who has children, and it's all like you choose. I'm going to take that on. And for the most part, we don't want to take on responsibilities for the sake of taking on extra responsibilities. I wanted you. I didn't want him. I didn't even know about her. I mean, when I met you, she wasn't there.
Harsh truth.
Like I met you at work, and I saw you were beautiful, you were intelligent, whatever. And then we started talking, and I realized there's a whole nother person attached to you. And if I continue to want you, I got to deal with whoever they are, however they are, and quite frankly, that's not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
So we explained, like, I think the question was like, what's the hesitation or whatever. So we explained what it is, but I think Junior gave the most critical piece of advice is make sure that person know that they're valued. Yeah. Like, or you let them know, like, I know I come with a lot, but I just want to thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't act like you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like let that person know I value you for being here for this situation. So
also, I want a football team. Like if I can, I want a football team.
Oh, you want a lot.
You better start now, buddy.
I want a football team. I'll have as many kids as my wife lets me have. So as long as we can keep that going.
But that's true, because sometimes they do be like, I already got 2, I ain't having no more.
Right?
It's like,
I stopped talking to women for that. Like,
you
kids,
got to.
okay, well, we not gonna work out.
Because you're not aligned. But I feel like that's not fair to the man. But
yeah, that's true.
I feel like more women are willing to accept a man with kids than a man is willing to accept a woman with kids.
That's
true.
I see it happen all the time.
Because the example that a man that has kids can set for a woman, low-key gets them excited because they're like, oh wait, they already have somebody who they're taking care of.
Yeah.
He's a
Full
good
time.
dad.
That's more attractive to a woman than
Right.
vice versa than
Right.
for a man to like, because it's like as a mother, I think in most cases most men just expect because she
Right.
got a kid, like that's just natural,
Yeah.
You
But
know,
for a man to take care and put and then you can a woman can more easily slot themselves in like,
right.
oh, I can fit into that.
This is kind of
already
dad he's gonna be to my kid.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you don't see too much single dads, and I think women are more. I'm not gonna say more attracted than the other option, but I'm saying women are attracted to single dads more than men attracted to single moms
100%.
because y'all, like you said, y'all look for that quality. If a dude is a single dad and he doing his thing, for whatever reason, that's attractive to y'all. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it just is what it is. So
That's true. Man.
That's how you feel?
That's a hard choice.
That's why I got.
She said that's how she got. That's single dad.
Yeah, wasn't he a tall man too?
Tall, yeah. You need to be tall.
Gotta be tall.
That's the word.
And now she's saying she got. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Short kings winning shoes. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy.
But you're not short, but you know.
I'm average size.
I'm about to say, he
My whole
average.
life is
Y'all
tall,
all
so.
about, okay.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody 6 feet.
Yeah,
You got
exactly.
another 6 foot.
Did you have more
Yeah,
questions?
what's up with that?
Uh oh.
To the ladies out there, what's up? What's with the 6 feet?
You like to look up.
Yeah.
I like to
we
look
like
up.
to
I
look
like
up.
to look up and know it's
Sit
an
down.
attraction knowing that you're
Look
bigger
up.
than
From which country?
My man said sit down.
I mean, you
What's
said
it sit down?
Wow. Oh my god. It is
That's
an
wild.
attraction.
That's it.
But
That's
did
crazy.
you have more questions?
Let's go to the bucket.
Yeah, let's get back
Oh,
to the
hold on.
I was just looking it up. So like 14% of U.S. men are 6 feet tall.
No.
So you
Oh my
want somebody that's 6 feet tall? That's four.
And y'all
And then
wonder-
wait, but that goes into why do men cheat? Because all y'all want the same 7 guys. So the same 7 guys got all the women in the world. That's a fact.
I don't know if y'all have heard this story, and I'm gonna say it quick as possible so we can get to the next question. So it's, and I hope y'all heard it before. If you haven't, you can hear it now. So there was like, it's supposed to be this. It's fake, obviously. There's this building, and it's
When I go to different
yeah,
stories,
different
go ahead.
stories. It's like the first story is unemployed man or something like that. The next story is, a man that looks good. The next story is a man that looks good that works. The next story is a man that look good that works that's loyal. The next one is a man that's funny with all those other things. And then the next one, it was like, it just gets better than that. And it was like the woman, she was trying to see what each level was, seeing that it gets better at every level. And then she got to the top level. Like, you could have picked a man at any one of those levels. And then you get to the top, and it was like, you are now number 1 million and whatever, and there are no men left, and you can't go back down.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey.
That is funny.
Well, y'all are hilarious. But y'all ready to dig back into the
let's
bowl,
dig
huh?
back
To the questionable. How much time we got? This is a good pod.
We got as much time as.
We can split this one in
Like I
half.
said,
As y'all
we
need.
going along-
We can make this
it's
a
already
two-
been an hour, I think.
Yeah, it's been
two
more than an
episodes. I like this.
Ooh, what does a good Christian woman look like to you?
That was on my list. Okay.
No, you could have just asked it. Okay.
That's a good. I wanted to give other people chances.
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay.
Yeah, just a woman that shows qualities that she has a life laid before Christ.
Yeah.
And it's when you've experienced it your whole life, like most of us in here, we've been in church our whole lives.
Same church.
Yeah. we know we've seen quality good Christian women in our lives, so if we see those qualities in you just based off of proximity, it's easier to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But if you never surround yourself with what that looks like, it's harder for you. And so you got to dig deep. You got to get in the Word. You got to get it, to understand, because it lays it out for you with the quality of a good Christian woman.
Absolutely.
Preferably somebody who's a Trinitarian. Preferably somebody who's
No, that's a fact, though. You gotta say that.
you know what I'm
That is
saying? They need to
important.
understand. We're not gonna get into too much yet, Corey. But you know, like somebody who loves God more than they love me.
Someone who knows their eschatology.
Stand on that.
Stand on
that. I'm completely standing on that.
I'm doing throwing
I missed
shots.
that,
Yeah,
but okay.
it's all good.
It's okay.
It was the
It was the
conversation.
time, right?
Okay.
But yeah, just somebody who loves God more than me, because then I will always know that they have a higher level to attain and accountability besides
that's
just me.
important.
Because they'll fail me all day. But I feel like if they get recentered in Christ, and we can always reconcile. We can always come
Yeah.
back.
For me, we talked about this before. I don't need someone who is a theologian. I understand that I do know like more scripture than the average Christian, but I don't need a theologian. What I need is someone who.
Sorry.
What I need is someone who is serious about their faith, right? So I went to Dallas Baptist University in pursuit of a degree in biblical studies. I don't need my woman to have pursued biblical studies, but I do need you to know what you say you believe. I do need you to be willing to learn. The Bible says to study to show yourself approved. I need you to be the kind of person that says, hey, if this is scripture, then I'm okay with aligning myself to that. Even if it's something new, like I just learned this. I didn't read this portion of the Bible until yesterday, but I'm getting an understanding, and because this is what God wants, I'm willing to align myself to that. If that is what you are doing, and you look good, because I'm not going to act
Come on
like
now, talk about it.
Hey,
that's not
about
necessary.
Yeah,
I
come
need,
on. Dig into
you know what
that.
I'm saying? I need both
Gots
sides
to.
of it, you feel me? Gots to look good, but if you're doing that, then that's something that I can work with. We can move forward.
I'm gonna add two things to this, and I'm gonna add a question to y'all. And I know it's not, I ain't the lady and I'm not the bucket, but I want to see y'all's thoughts on this.
Yeah, go for it.
One, I just a woman that follows God, because if you follow God, you're not gonna be led the wrong way.
Facts.
Furthermore, if you follow God and I'm in your life and you following my lead, if I go astray, you're not gonna go astray because you still follow God. And then if I'm doing what I need to be doing, you're going to follow me because you follow
Corey.
God. So that's the biggest thing. Do you follow God? And or like I know we're human, so I know that we mess up. But like in our mess ups, are you getting back up and be like, God, I'm following you again?
Right.
You know, do you have that process? Do you run back to God? Furthermore, since you said this about like looking good, or should I ask this after?
No, you good.
Okay.
You good.
So, one of my friends, he's Honduran, and I hope I said that right. And he is with a Hispanic or Latina, Hispanic, Latina. Sorry, I love you. You know who I'm talking about. I love you out of death. But anyways, he basically said they have this conversation, and this is strong in the Mexican Hispanic culture. The man will often tell their wives, and like mothers, grandmothers will tell their daughters and granddaughters this: don't just be around the house bummy all the time. Look good for your husband, and I don't mean like put on makeup all the time, but just like hey, put your hair up, or like don't always look unattractive because.
Pajamas or something.
So I want to hear y'all because I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of black women don't care. A lot of I say a lot of black women because that's
what we know.
My experience. That's what
I
I know. So I ain't saying black women do this more. I just been with more black women than I haven't been with. So anyways, most black women I know, they like, oh, if I'm at home, I'm in whatever I want to be with. My hair not done, it's cool, and I think a lot of us are accepting of that. But when he said that, I'm like, dang. And she was like, okay, I understand, because he was like, now you've been looking bummy all day, but you want to get in bed and then you want to still have sex all day. You will make me want to have sex a lot more if you done something to yourself. What
I would just say, what was the saying? Don't be a housewife. What did you say? Don't walk around the house.
Bummy. That's
yeah. That's what they tell them.
Basically,
we need to tell our women that. Yeah. I like that.
I think we should put that in the black community.
I do. I think so. Like you said, we're gonna accept it. When you love your wife, you love your wife.
Right.
You don't care when you love somebody. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you also like them too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I want to like you too.
Yeah. I like that.
That's good. I'm glad you brought that up.
No, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you gotta listen. We was talking about this in a couple past podcasts back, but like being fine gets you through the door.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I mean, let's be real.
We said that. I don't know how smart
privilege
you
is
are.
everything.
I don't know how much of a believer you are. I don't know nothing
But
else
I'm about
about
to
you
find out because you
until
fine.
I know how good you look.
Yeah.
That's right. If I'm not attracted to you to some degree, like it's hard to get through the like. That's gotta be. I don't even know.
Mhm.
I don't see myself like. Come on, be honest. Like,
Right.
you don't see yourself with somebody who you're just not attracted to.
But they got a great personality.
I don't know
They
that.
have the best personality.
I'll never know.
This guy, hey, this is
That's what I
This is a guy's podcast.
for you ladies right here. This guy said this on the video. He told his wife, "You want me to do something." I got a lot of church folk who might listen to this and they might be looking
It's
at
all
me crazy.
good.
This man was married and he said, "You want me to do something? Show me your titties while I ask me the question, and you will never get a no from me. You will never get a no."
That is the truth.
I'm rocking with it.
He was like, "Flash me and ask me a question. You will never get a no." And I was like, "Yeah,
See?
that make a lot of sense.
I think that's
right.
a great marriage advice. Alright.
Just women out there who are married, right? Ask yourself,
Just
if
try
you
it.
don't catch your husband just like looking at you for a while, just staring,
Ooh.
not even,
Just
and there's something wrong.
Ooh,
You gotta like.
That's a
There's
fact.
been moments, I won't share too much. My wife is in the room, but there's some moments I'll just be looking. Like,
I did that.
and she
You know
asked,
what I'm
like, "Why you
saying?
looking at me like that?"
You know what I'm saying? Why you looking at me?
Don't even worry about it.
because exactly.
That's
And,
hilarious.
If that doesn't happen too often, maybe think about some
But
stuff.
I just heard Nicole say something. She said y'all are so visual, but we are.
Yeah.
Like that's what I
That's
want
how
women
you
to
show
know.
pretty
Like,
privilege. Use your pretty privilege.
yeah, we visual creatures.
Like,
Show us something.
use your pretty privilege. Like, we talked about this with the WNBA stuff. We ain't
Facts.
gonna get into it,
Facts.
but like, when the WNBA started using a pretty privilege, the sport got more popular.
Yeah, I think the first person I really watched was Skylar Diggins. I think.
Yep.
I was like,
You
yeah, I
want
can
to
watch this.
I can watch this, right? She can miss 1,000 open layups. She look good.
It was good
Come on,
form.
that's
It was good form.
Try again, girl. Let me see.
Use your pretty privilege. Use your pretty privilege.
That's a fact. That's a real and I think people need to understand that. Look, some people say like that's so vain. Whatever. Everybody has something that they're vain about. Use the thing that you have to your advantage. And for a lot of women, the thing that they have is the fact that we are so attracted to you as like the person you are will get a shot because the face that you have or the body that you present.
I was about to say, but if they don't have to be half naked.
You don't
Right.
have to be
Right,
at
you
all.
And that's what some girls
I am
think.
not-
That's what they think. I
I'll
just
tell you
gotta
right now.
wear
Okay,
less
so
clothes.
so the question was we look for like a good Christian woman. I'll be honest with you. If I see you half naked, I'm gonna think of you as a woman that I see half naked.
Say that. To a
Right.
good guy, being half naked is gonna disqualify you.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
gonna
for
be like-
sure.
I mean, he might mess with you.
Yeah, it's gonna
That's
trigger those.
very-
It's gonna
yeah,
trigger
to it.
those primal instincts. But
Yeah.
as far as me looking at you saying, "Oh, I think I want to marry this woman,"
Never.
it's not gonna happen
Never.
Right.
because you presented yourself in a way that I don't want my wife to be presented.
Right.
I don't want my wife to be presented to other people and they see all her cleavage. That's for me.
They see
It's
her
like
booty.
I want a
That's
secret
for
that
me.
only
The
I
booty
know.
will snap.
No, the
You know
whole
what
world
I'm
know your
saying?
secret.
Everybody know your secret. I don't want
It,
everybody
it
knowing.
ain't gonna work.
And that goes for your social media too.
Yeah.
Like if I'm on your social, I'll be like, I
Yeah.
can never.
It's
I,
not going down.
I could see like in my single days, I could see a woman who you in your bikini and you got all this showing. And ladies, I ain't saying that that's a problem,
Right.
but I'ma like that picture and I may shoot my shot, but that's all it's gonna be. That's all. And I'm just keeping it a
Keep it
buck.
a buck.
You advertise what you want. Like McDonald's not gonna advertise a steak because they ain't got
I'm
steak.
gonna take it a step further, and this is just for me. But if I go to your social media back, when I was whatever, and you got 15,000 friends,
Yeah.
I'm not even interested. I'm like, you too accessible to the world. I need somebody like
That's
200
hilarious.
I need you
You know what's
offline. I
funny?
need you to be an offline type of
So
girl.
I never needed that, especially like moving into entrepreneurship. Like I know people that got thousands of followers, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
I think for
different.
them that's different. But
That's different.
I didn't think about it. But the girl I talk to now, like, she's literally not on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, it's not possible to find her on there. She don't exist there. She's not super
I
active
want
on
somebody
any
that's
social
offline.
media.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that I liked
it.
that until I ended up having it.
So, here's one thing. I heard this, and one of the things that I pay attention to. Have you guys seen a commercial about Lamborghinis?
They don't need that.
Because
need
they're
that.
not advertising to people sitting on the couch. Not to say y'all people sitting on the couch.
Right.
Yeah. Make it clear.
I'll make it. Not that they're advertising towards that, but if you watching TV, sitting down all the time, their advertisements aren't towards you.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know how they advertise?
You advertise to people that you want to attract.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
If you're gonna advertise your body, you're gonna attract people that
Who
only
want
want
your
your
body.
body.
Come on now.
And listen, this is a crazy thing. You will be, if you look good in the face, you look good in the face. It don't matter with this. And if you got a banging body, you gonna have a banging body. Your dress don't have to be skin tight.
Right.
We can see who you are and how you look. We don't need you to reveal extra. That does nothing but trigger stuff up here that honestly, when you are looking for a mate, you don't want him to be thinking with that part of his
When
anatomy
you got
anyway.
them sweats on at the Walmart, we see.
Yeah, we see.
Listen, we don't got X-ray vision, but we know.
And but here's another thing though. Just to go back to your analogy of how Lamborghinis and like Rolls Royce, you don't find Rolls Royce commercials. Do you know how Rolls Royce advertises? You'll go to an airplane show. The people are looking at buying a certain kind of airplane. The new Rolls Royce will be there when they're showing you the new airplane. Why? Because the people buying Rolls Royces are the kind of people that are getting airplanes. They know their demographic. They know who they're advertising to. They're not going to waste time with the person who said, "Oh, Toyota got a new car. It's only $27,000."
Even
We don't want that.
Even the show for that as well. Those people who we know already deeming those statuses, they use them. So Rolls Royce may give somebody a car,
Right.
like a LeBron James or something like that. Don't even need to advertise it. Just LeBron pulling up in a Wraith.
Right.
Oh, that's what the people that with that money get. Okay, so even when those people who aspire to get there, who eventually do get there, the advertisement's already been set.
It's already done.
This is the style that goes with that. So you don't
Let
need
me say my little warning before you say it. I am still an advocate, ladies. If I got a lot of homegirls who like, not like that, but I got a lot of female friends, and I'm a man who controls myself, so I can like, I'm fine with saying that. Live your life, boo boo. I ain't telling you to not live your life. If you want to show off and do your thing, show off and do your thing. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself to be a woman that's acting like, why there's no good men, or why can't I never get like, oh, my friends got a good man, how come I can't find one? Check your advertisement. You might just be advertising wrong.
That's good.
That's a real thing.
That was good. Let's dig back into the bowl.
How much longer we going?
As long as y'all want to go.
I have 2 questions too.
You got 2 questions?
Let's
Let's go
do
with you
2
first.
questions,
Well, this one's quick. But does body count matter?
Yep.
Woo!
Yeah,
We talked about this last week.
yeah, we did.
It does matter.
Of course, it depends on the man, but yeah.
And the reason why it matters is it shows me your mentality on how you value yourself.
That's good.
So if you tell me, oh yeah, I got 152. Oh, so you don't think your body is sacred? Okay, thank you for letting me know that you don't think your body is sacred, and also thank you for letting me know that you're gonna tell my daughter that it's okay for her to have 152, which is absolutely not okay. So you know what I'm saying?
No, I believe people can have change of hearts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe that, and I think in certain circumstances, it's rough for me, but possibly it could be something me personally, right? Not for everybody, that I could possibly overlook. But there's a lot of other facets of that. I mean, it's gonna sound weird, but like you got to be in a whole different state now. Cause I mean, I can't run into like 10 dudes that if you got 150 and you live out in Dallas, and then that's where we gonna stay.
Keep it pushing.
Listen, we can't be in Dallas no more. We gotta go home to LA or something. Like we gotta go somewhere funny because I can't run into dudes. Right. Yeah, it's something. It's something like, of course, if you do it the biblical way, it's something special about that. And I believe God ordained it that way because it's just he knows us. He knows what's going to be more beneficial and valuable to us. To be able to share that, like sex in itself, with just your person, and nowhere outside of that, you know how much of detriment that can remove from your life that you may have been through because. And then too, you know how much value that adds to your marriage even further. Because it's like you're not comparing left and right. You're not thinking about like this is my when I think about sex and the identity of it, I think about my partner only because that's the only person I know,
Right.
and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like of course, in the time before whenever hormones was going, we're not thinking about that. But like when you become when you get older and you read your word, and you understand things. You're like, dang, like that's actually super valuable. Because it can help literally sustain your marriage.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real about it. It can. So, yeah, I think it's important. I think it's not a necessary, it's to me, it's almost an end-all be-all. Like, you can't really have too many. But it can be, it just depends on what it is. Like, I'm going to need some information.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna need explanations and
Was
information.
this before or after you got saved?
Yeah.
Come on,
Is
because
anything on video out there?
Come
Because
on.
if it's on the internet, then we can't do it.
Yeah, on the internet.
It can't
That's
happen.
facts.
It just can't.
So I'll give my answer, and I'm gonna give some pushback to this a little bit. It matters to a certain extent. It matters how you got there, to me, and why you got there, and is that still going higher? Because if you got flipped, script, and tricked, and that was what you was cool with, then I don't know. Like, and I said to say, like, if your body count is 10, right, but 8 of them was from a train, like, I don't know, like that's kind of crazy. but then like, or if let me make the point even better. If your body count is 5 and 3 of them was because you like trains, like that's kind of crazy. But if your body count was 10 and those dudes you've been in the relationships with and you was planning on being with them, like that, it's just a little different. So it kind of matters, and it more matters how you got there. I probably am someone who had maybe more of a higher body count than normal. So I can't be like your body count matter. But I also would say it matters how you got there. And then also at the same time, I'm saved. I'm a changed man. Are you saved? Or are you a changed woman? So and that's a big thing as well. If contextual it all matters with context. Like if you grew up without a dad and you started having sex at 16 and now you 30, you didn't have sex for almost 15 years. If you had sex with 2 guys a year and you was in relationships with 2 guys a year, your body count is almost 30. Like to some people that might sound crazy, but contextually, adding context to it, like a lot of those dudes you might have been serious about, you trying to find love or whatever the case may be. And in that sense, like I'm not like, okay, I can't do it. But like I said, it's more of how you got there and what are your thoughts now? Am I your last body?
Right.
And are you gonna teach my daughter to like have better, using you? Because I'm gonna teach my daughters how to have better standards than I do. Yeah. So we're gonna have that conversation.
Yeah. But if I can do the math and the math ain't math, and like you 23 and you got 150, I'm like you was really doing things.
Really out there.
She was about to say,
You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of one night stands.
That's a lot of just unnecessary stuff.
Yeah.
Some stuff that I don't know.
Been happening.
Did you break them soul ties?
That's a good one.
Did you break them soul ties?
If you've been with both of the twin brothers,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
it's a no for me.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
It's just a.
That's a good one.
And I'm not speaking from experience, or I
If
might
you been with my homeboy,
but I'm just saying.
if you been with my homeboy,
Oh yeah,
that's probably all.
That's a deal breaker.
Especially someone close to me that's gonna be in my wedding.
yeah. That's
Yeah, because the rest of his life, he's like, I done had your.
I hit that right. I can't.
I can't do that.
You get in an argument one day with him, and then you bring that out. You go.
Oh, that's the end of the friendship. Now we gotta fight.
Yeah.
Like best man.
Yeah, that's.
She told me she liked me more. Like, nah, that's just.
And I really do think that's a man thing.
It is.
Right. Like.
It's double standards.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
there's full of them.
there's double standards in life, but you have to you gotta accept that sometimes. There's double standards in life.
It's true.
And it is a man thing. Like, I do feel like my woman is my woman. And I'm not okay with...
How many STDs you had?
Oh
How
my
many?
gosh.
That's a legit question.
No,
Territorial? Yes.
I might have had a
Yes,
higher
sir.
body count. I ain't never ever, thank God, had nothing. So in that way, I've always been clean. And like,
Praise God.
have you always, you know?
Bless the Lord.
Like we said, like it's different for different people. So the number is gonna be different because I think Miles said like his woman don't have to be a theologian, and I was like, mine do. Yeah, because like I can't stand like 90% of the pastors that be on YouTube. Like I can't stand them. I call them out. I ask them for backup scripture. Like I'm going in with it, right? And so like that's just like where I am. So it's different for different people. So I need a theologian woman, and I need a woman that cares about her body, because that's just who I am.
Right.
So you might not be able to get the same type of or same person with a higher body count. It could be a great guy out there for you, but it just be that guy might not want that. He just like nah, you know. We just gotta remember that our decisions have consequences,
Exactly.
and that's just all there is to it.
And you don't always get to choose the consequence.
And it's not always going to be fair for you. Like I said, you could be well past that. You could have been celibate for the last 4 years and met a great man, and he's like, you got 50? Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. And it's just like, it is what it is. I mean, consequences going to come.
You can always lie.
True, you could.
You
That's
don't want
always
to
an
start a
option.
relationship off of lies, though.
Then he find out the hard way. He was like, wait a minute.
I was trying to help somebody with a high body count. You know, what do you say?
Then you
We're going to move to your next question.
Move to
Because they
your
talking
next
reckless. What was your next question? You said you had two.
So, I wonder if I can put these two together. So, how do you know a man is really ready for marriage? Because outside of him just saying, like, I'm looking for marriage. But I feel like a lot of men don't say that.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Let her finish.
And then, I guess, you know what, I'm going to break them up. Let's do that one first.
Okay, first one. How you know when a man is really ready for marriage? First of all, you need to see if he's doing the things that you want in a husband. And then if he's ready for marriage, he will make it known, I'm ready for marriage. There's no two ways about it. If he's not ready for marriage, he's not bringing up the topic. And he's definitely not going to let you know, like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm going after. Like, I'm doing this so that we can get here.
And then see what degrees he brings it up in. Because if he's bringing it up just to appease you, then he might not actually be ready. He's just having a conversation with you because you brought it up. Yeah. But if he brings it up audibly himself and is talking about that future and is visualizing that with you beforehand, because it can never be a shock. Like, oh my gosh, she wants to marry me. Like, like it's never gonna be that, okay? Or it shouldn't. If it is, then he might, you might want to check his papers and see if he's really from here or something. Because he might be trying to get a place to stay. Yeah, you might want to do that.
I want to ask this question. What do you mean by is he ready? What does the word ready entail?
So I would say he's dating with intention. Like, how do you know if...
Like he's ready
does
for
that mean ready?
I feel like it means ready because, like, say, for example, you have something in your mind. Like, when you meet a woman, they always say, when you guys meet women, you know right away, oh, yeah, I'm going to just hit that. Or, oh, I can see something with her. Okay.
So, probably some pastors may not like this original answer, but I'm going to back it up with some scripture. To my knowledge, that's not what the Bible says is ready. In fact, the Bible says, if you can't control yourself, marry. So, and that's kind of why I asked you, what does being ready mean? A lot of pastors will say, do such and such or look for a man with such and such. The Bible tells men, if you can't control yourself, marry. It's better to marry. What it says, it's better to marry than to burn with passion.
Can I back it up a little bit? Because the scripture does say that flat out. That only works to people that are submitted under a certain kind of leader. So these people were believers who believed in what they were preaching, what Paul and so on and so were preaching. So Paul could tell them, listen, y'all are here wilding. Y'all need to stop that. You need to have sex, and you need to get married so you have somebody to do that with.
Right.
That don't work with somebody who was like, I ain't submitted to God's will no way. That's part of the reason
True.
why I'm having sex.
Right.
But you are right though. So in the case that you are a believer and you're like, yo, I can't go the next year and a half without having sex. That's not a thing for me. You need to get married then.
Yeah. Count it down.
Like that is what you need to do. You need to get married because other than that, you're not doing anything but torturing yourself.
Right.
And God has provided this thing for you to enjoy that. And if it's burning that deeply,
Right.
then do what He says so you can
Right.
enjoy the thing that you want. He laid out a way for you.
Furthermore, I'm gonna go a little deeper into this. I feel like this is the notion, I guess I'm trying to say, around today's generation, where we feel like I have to get ready to be married, or I got to do a certain whatever to get married, and that is not necessarily how they did things back in the day. And I'm typically a little more old school in that sense of, I feel like, man, you could do all of this and like you hit all these marks that you set out to, for yourself in order for you to be ready for marriage. But then in 10 years, you're going to be such a different person than you were 10 years ago. So like at the end of the day, if we already said that we love each other and we sticking through it all, why do we need to wait to hit this and this to be married? Like, let's get married and hit this and this. Because in 5 years, it's gonna be another this.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna be a completely person. I'm 26. I'm gonna be completely different at 36 than I am today.
Yeah.
That's true. And that makes sense because that's happened to me, where a guy was telling me I need to have this. He was talking about his finances. Then there was some other things he felt like mentally he needed to get himself together. And then here we are 4 years later, and it's the same thing.
Right.
So
Yeah. And like another thing I want to warn women about: if a man says I'm working on me right now, just leave him alone.
Yeah, let him work on him.
That's cold for we can have sex, but
Right.
I'm going no further than that. That's all it means.
Furthermore, I tell all my any women in my life, like not necessarily that I'm dealing with, like cousins, whatever the case is, coworkers. I tell all women, a man is only gonna do what you allow him to do. If you never required a man to do something, but you allowing him to get everything, why am I gonna want anything different? Especially if I'm not a Christian man who desires that. If I'm a man and you let me have everything I desire to have, and I ain't gotta do nothing for it, why am I gonna do for it?
yeah.
If as a man I could take care of myself, I got my crib, I'm living comfortable, and you gonna let me have sex with you every night, and I ain't gotta get on my knee, and I ain't gotta have no real responsibility to you, why would I give you that responsibility?
It's funny. I was just talking about that the other day because I was like, once somebody decides to date somebody, like they could be the best of friends, they could be cool. As soon as you start dating, now there's new expectations.
Right.
Because there's expectations with dating.
Right.
So that's why people be like, well, I just want to have sex with you because I don't want all those expectations. I don't want it's my birthday, so I'm expecting you to take me out.
Right.
I don't care about your birthday. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah, if a guy says he ain't ready, he's working on him. If he says, I'm worried about X, Y, Z, if he giving you reasons why he can't get married, leave him alone.
Yeah.
So that goes to the saying of, I've had some homegirls tell me, versus I had a situation like that, and they were like, well, that just means that it's with you. That means he's still scouting. Do you believe, is that true when men tell you, I'm working on this and working on that, it's because they really don't want to be with you and they're scouting, or could it be really the truth?
I'll say it's two things. It's two things.
Okay.
Because there's levels to everything, all right? So technically, a man could say, yeah, I want to get married, but I ain't making enough, and I know I need to support you, and it's not financially possible to do that. Please allow me some time to get this together so I can do for you what a husband's supposed to do. That's one thing. It's a totally different thing for him to be like, yeah, I want to get married, but, it's just some things. What do you mean just some things? What the heck does that mean? Right? And so, a lot of times with men, if they want to marry you, they will make that known. I want to marry you. If they don't want to marry you, they'll find reasons to say, I can't be married right now. And in that case, it may be them just looking around, or it could possibly be you. Either way, you need to go.
Yeah. So the question is like, do they say that just to me? Whatever. Yes. I'm gonna speak from my own experience. I was in a relationship. I broke up with somebody, and then when I was finally ready to start looking around again, I would tell the girls that I was like friends with. I would be like, "Oh, I want to date somebody I never met before. Like I want a fresh start." The truth, I just didn't know how to tell them like, I know I'm here with you right now. We doing whatever we doing, but I don't want to date you. Right? And that's what guys do. Like, they find excuses, right? So, yes, a guy might be like, oh, I'm just working on myself right now. That's what he's telling you. Right. And then he come across another girl that he won't.
Yeah. Because if a woman is awesome enough, he's going to do whatever he has to do to be with you. Yeah. If he feels you're that valuable.
No, go ahead.
So, I would say this, and here's one thing I always say. If a man tells you that he is not ready to be in a relationship, he is not ready to marry, it don't matter the reason. Listen to him.
That's what I said. Stop. No matter, you need to go.
So many women will hear this and they be like, "Oh, this is a good man. He just not ready to be in such and such relationship or whatever." Yeah. Like, no. Stop thinking you gonna change that man's mindset. Like, because what's gonna happen is you finna start doing all these things to make him think he ready to be with you, and then when it come down and you like, "Well, why he ain't done this yet?" And he gonna say, "Ma'am, I told you that I wasn't trying to be in a relationship. You wanted to do all that on your own." And I'm speaking from experience. Yeah. If a man tells you, "I don't want to be in a relationship," listen to him. He is telling you the truth. He is telling you the truth.
The one time you know a guy is not lying.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Hey, dudes will lie, and a lot of times they don't want to hurt your feelings, so they may say like, "Oh, I don't want to be in a relationship," or "Oh, I'm not ready," or whatever the case may be. The one thing a man gonna tell the truth about is what he don't want. He'll tell if he don't want a relationship with you, he is not gonna get in a relationship with you, especially if you giving up all the things
that he should have to wait to get into
to do in a relationship with. Yeah. Listen to him.
And then I know from just talking to my female friends, they'll be like, "He said he don't want this, but we had sex, so like no, there's no so. There's no we had sex, so he does want me. No, he don't.
He might want sex though.
Exactly. And
he got it from you. You
gotta value yourself more than that. You gotta value yourself enough to be like, I'm gonna wait until I find what's for me.
Yeah. And as a woman, I'm gonna tell my daughters this: if you gotta convince a man to be with you,
convince him to stay with you.
That ain't it.
You're gonna be convincing them every single day.
Yeah.
Every night I got to fight.
Exactly.
Exactly. And two, I want to preface by saying also, like, it's not the woman's fault in every scenario, right?
Right.
It's not. It's her fault if he's, like you said, telling you, and you're just completely just wrapped up in it still. No, but if you say, "Well, this is a great man. I just don't see why he won't commit to me," stuff like that. Maybe I need to do this a little bit different. Especially if you've been in a relationship for a minute, he sees. I mean, he should see all the value that you provide in that sample size of time to move into marriage. Me personally, I don't think you need to be with somebody 4+ years to know if you're married.
Yeah. That's a long time.
You don't. That's a long time.
A long time.
So if you're at that stage, then you have to almost get into ultimatum mode. Like, okay, either we're gonna get married or we're done. Like, and that's when it gets to that point. It has to be like that. And then you put the pressure on that man to like make a sound decision. And if you don't, and if it's too wavery, then it's tough. But we gotta part ways because it's just.
And I'll be honest with you, that ultimatum, people are like, I don't want to give an ultimatum. Listen, if he don't want you, he's gonna walk. If he do want you, he's gonna say, "Dang, this is what I gotta do."
Because you deserve to have what you want as well.
It's gonna save yourself a bunch of heartache in the long run if you just get that out of the way. One thing about me, even since I was a kid, I talked to a lot of girls over my time, right? But when I was in a relationship with
activity.
Listen, relax.
I should have said that. I should have said that word. I talked to a lot of them. I gave up a little too much information.
Listen, yeah, you did. But whenever even since I was like in elementary school, whenever I had a girlfriend, I made her my
serious
girlfriend.
light skin activity.
I was like, I've been at it for a long time. Whenever I had a girlfriend, though, it was just like, even at that age, it was just like, I didn't put a limit on, like, oh, we'll probably date until we're in first grade, and then I'll leave her alone. Like, I was thinking about
marriage from the jump.
Exactly. From when I was a kid. I'm gonna be, listen, I'm 5 years old, this is gonna be my girl for the rest of my life. That's how I thought. So, but the crazy part is, I was in relationships, like, in quicker. The reason why is because as soon as I knew that, oh, wait,
that ain't the one.
yeah, I was like, no, we out there. I was like, wait, oh, hold on. It could be like a random Tuesday. I'm like, dang, you know what? I don't think. Let me call her right quick.
Oh, but let me ask you something. Did your wife ever have to convince you to marry her?
No.
Never.
Never.
My wife never had to convince me to marry her. Never. If anything, I was. Baby, please.
I wanted to ask: is there a time limit? So you said something like it don't take 4 years for you to know whatever. Is there a time limit in y'all's head?
I mean,
That's a good question.
I don't want to say too much right now.
Good answer. Good answer.
There's not like a time limit like, oh, we have to be married in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
No. But we should
That
know,
is too long for me though. I will say that much.
Yeah, but
That's a long time.
we should know where we're going and we should have a plan. And we should have that before we hit the 4 year mark.
Yeah.
So 4 years is
No, I'm
That I
not
can
saying that. I'm
understand
not
agree.
saying that. Like
I mean, if I had to put a number on it, of course, this is not a set in stone number.
okay.
I'll just say within a year's time.
Okay.
And that's within a year's time. You should at least know the trajectory of what this relationship is aiming to
because
try,
we're
to try to
grown
be.
now.
Okay.
We're not 19 no more.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, of course, me and my wife, we were talking early on. So, 19, you know, I think I just graduated high school. She was still in high school. So
I'm jealous.
it was like, people were like, it was funny because she just graduated. People were like, oh, y'all been together for a while. Why don't y'all get married? I'm like, we're young. Like, we don't even know anything yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We're just, you know. So
Yeah, that's completely different.
it's
that's
different.
understandable.
So our story's a little bit different in that sense, but still, like, if we met when we were 25, then yeah, like, we gotta understand something within a year's time, because
Yeah.
if not, then what do we
If I
do?
date somebody for a year, I should know either we heading towards
I want to
marriage
bring it back even
or
further.
we're just gonna be. Or we
Yeah.
just
I
gonna
want to
be
say
dating
6
forever.
months.
That's a little quick.
No,
That's
I'll be
not-
honest
that's
with
just
you
not
though.
a long time.
Okay, listen. No, let me say this real
Just
quick.
knowing
Let me just say this real quick.
Yeah.
Before me and Gina started dating, before we became official, we knew we were getting married. That's
Facts.
why we became official.
Facts.
Mhm.
We were, like I said earlier, we was praying about it, like, Lord, is this the right one? You know what I'm saying? Like, we was going down to Gonsolin's church.
Mhm.
I was like, all right, God, you know, like, Gonsolin, go ahead and tell me drop it or keep it moving. Like,
Yeah.
I was doing all this stuff. Once I set in my spirit, like, okay, bet God's okay with this. We started dating,
That's-
and we knew already.
That's
So
what
that's
I
what I'm saying.
said. Like,
You shouldn't be dating
when-
for 2-3 years, wondering if I'm gonna marry you. I should know. I mean, in my case, I knew before. I would not date you if I don't think I'm marrying you. Now you can get into a relationship, find out some stuff is crazy, and exit.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a different story than just being in a relationship.
It's
for
like
4
I
years.
said before.
What do you say to people? I'm sorry, but some people I've heard say, and of course mostly like, I'm not gonna say worldly people, but just people like,
Sinners.
yeah, I know.
Like,
But they'll just be like, well, how do you know what you like? You gotta date around and stuff like that.
Man,
How do you know what you like? You know, you gotta be with some. You never lived with a woman. How do you know if you never lived with them? You know, then you won't know if like this is what you like or don't like.
You
in
know,
a
there's
marriage.
like statistics for everything, right?
Yeah.
You know, the longer you live with somebody before you get married, the more likely you are to get a divorce. I'm just throwing it out there. Anyways, what I say is this: you don't need to try all the flavors to realize that you liked one.
Right. If you don't like a flavor, why you keep eating it?
You know what I'm saying? I don't like that one. I'm done. I do like this one. Oh, I want to keep this one around.
exactly.
Right.
Like, I like strawberry. Well, you don't know if you don't like Neapolitan.
It don't matter.
I don't care.
Right.
I pick strawberry,
And that's
and I enjoy it.
that's
And I enjoy
that's
it.
kind of like a fallen world in a sense. It's like we gotta try everything
Yeah, and
to understand. And I'm just like, no, I'm okay with not understanding certain things.
Yeah.
Listen, I ain't never dated a white girl in my life. Love white folks. You guys are beautiful people. Never did. I don't need to date one to find out. I never needed to feel like I needed to date one to find out. You know what I'm saying? Just did it.
My answer would be there's no time limit. I just need to see you in all seasons. And what I mean by that is like I just need to know like when you get angry, are you finna
you gotta have an argument before you start dating.
Yeah, I just need to see you in all seasons to know it, to see the major red flags or see major deal breakers. At the end of the day, I feel like if there's no deal break, like there probably is a certain amount of time that you should be able to see deal breakers.
Yeah.
And if you can't see a deal breaker within a couple months of you seeing somebody and talking to somebody every day, then you need to go do some self-reflection. But as long as I see you in all seasons, then I think there's not too much of a time.
But you see that seeing you in all seasons, that needs to happen before I commit to you. I should see you upset before I say, okay, let me go ahead and start courting you for marriage. And that's part of the problem. You see people, oh, they fine, I'm fine, let's start dating. And we ain't did none of the pre-work before we started dating. And now we're trying to figure stuff out, and now we're 4 years later, and now we're wasting everybody's time. Well, we should have had all this stuff done before we started.
Well, okay, so what's the level of, because to be more specific, whenever you say dating, are you saying like becoming official or courting? Because I think you still need to have time to figure things out before you can say we're officially together.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
Before I'm like, I'm officially yours, you're officially mine,
this is my
this
girlfriend.
is exclusive.
Okay,
I should have seen you upset before I be like, you mine and I'm yours only. I should have seen you pissed off at least once. So I could be like, okay, they can control their anger, or they can't control their anger.
Even, it's something I think about. This is kind of a correlation to just understanding something about the person before you commit to something. In cultures where your parents will choose a spouse for you, they will choose a spouse based on what they know. I know their parents. I know what they were instilled with. I know this and this and this. So I believe this will be good for you and for the two families to come together. If you don't know some things, why are you committing?
Why are you committing? That's what I'm saying.
What is happening?
Just dumb people.
So then you're saying before the commitment, what are y'all doing? Just hanging out?
Yeah,
do you
so
know
getting
what you
to
would
know
learn
you.
about a person if you talk to them?
Yeah,
So
I'm getting to know
is
you.
that not considered dating to you though?
Okay, that may be
No,
dating,
because
but we're not official.
Yeah.
We're not.
You're not my girlfriend because
Yeah.
we went and got ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're
so-
just getting to know each other. So
Yes.
then what
So
is the difference between courting then? Is after you decide, okay, I think I'm interested in you going further, then you start courting?
Well, I don't know all the names or whatever. I just know there's a time when we're exclusive and a time before we're exclusive. There's a time when I'm hanging out with you, I'm having a good time with you, but if I want to hang out with Jasmine on Saturday, I can do that.
Right.
And then there's a time when I'm not hanging out with nobody else. It is only you.
Okay.
And when I get to that point where it's only you, I should have seen some stuff
Beforehand.
to give me to let me know to pick only you.
Okay.
Exactly. And you may not have seen everything, but you've seen a
seen
good
something.
enough sample size to be like,
Sample size.
okay,
You should have seen if there's deal breakers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. See, that's
Okay.
good. You got any other
That
questions?
was beautiful.
Well, let's go to the bucket.
Got me all
yeah, let's
excited.
get this
so.
bucket though.
It's
It's getting hot in here.
It is. I was kidding.
The AC is on, but
I feel good. Don't
it's
leave me the one sweating. I'm
It's
done.
these
The
lights.
light is
Yeah,
right
I'm
on
saying
us.
these lights, boy. Good gracious. The
Gina,
light skinned guy
can
is
you tell
not
us
hot.
what you got on that?
The light.
That's hilarious. What does a woman being submissive look like to you?
That's good.
I'm gonna let somebody else answer that.
Submissive.
Oh,
I
You know.
mean, shoot. Hey, if you submit to the will of God, I think you'll always submit properly to what
Okay.
you know.
Man, that's a good answer.
To
Cause
me.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate the way submissive is now in our culture. Like I think the way we talk about it is just not the right way. People talk about it kind of like in a way to manipulate or abuse or
it's
whatever.
annoying.
So I just don't like the way that they talk about it. But I think the correct way is like when she trusts you as a leader.
Right.
My wife trusts me.
Mhm.
And I don't mean I always make the right decision, but I mean she trusts me not blindly. Like she speaks up, she'll tell me. Like my wife got no problem telling me anything. But that's what I think it
Absolutely.
is.
My wife is the same way. It's that's exactly that. submission is submission is just the trust and the willingness to you take the lead on this, or I believe in your ability to garner this relationship. That's submission to me. And then also just to serve, but we do that to each other though. We should be serving each other. Yeah. And I think if you get away from kind of the tit for tat mentality of like, well, the woman should be serving me more, and I get to serve her. If she served me right, then I'll get to serving her. It's just like, no, your intentionality when you wake up every day is, how can I be a better service to my spouse? Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have your boundaries and things that you want to voice an opinion that you would like, but at the same time, you're not adding you don't have a big measuring stick out to see who does more. It's just about, are we continuously choosing each other and trying to meet each other's needs? And I think that's the form of submission that I resonate with more. Is that
my thoughts? I think 50 Shades of Grey ruined it ruined the no, let's keep it a buck.
I'm rocking
50 Shades of Grey. It ruined, what am I trying to say? It ruined the idea of submission. Now, after that came out, that word submissive to this generation is like, you're going to be on your knees and do everything I say. And that's not what the Bible is talking about when it's saying be submissive. Right. When it's talking about, like you said, being submissive is are you going to follow and trust your leader, whoever that may be? Are you going to are you going to submit to you follow and trust your pastor? You're submissive to your pastor. You follow and trust the things that he's saying or that he's telling you to do. It's in the same way. Being submissive doesn't mean that, hey, I said making it sound, so making it sound. That's not what it is. Because that's what a lot of people think that, exactly. A lot of people think that being submissive means that I got to have you in chains when I say be in chains. Yeah. And that's not really what it is.
And I think sometimes men equate that to a woman wrong too, so we have to take the onus on that too as well, because I hear it a lot. Like, oh no, I want a woman that's submissive. And my thing is, a lot of times you just want a woman that's just sweet to you. Right. Like, when my wife is sweet to me in her sweetest way, it's just the most beautiful thing to me. It's just like,
he getting happy right now, thank you.
Right. Yeah. When they take all that thug out of them. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like, it's not even about you, like, and of course, like, I like that my wife got, she got a dog in her too. She not gonna just take anything. Right. She gonna argue her point. She gonna make it, you know what I'm saying? Right. She gonna, right. Oh, and that's cool. My bad. She gonna speak up, and I appreciate that about her, because she always asks perspective. Yeah. And even when I think I have a good hold on explaining something properly or something like that, she helps me to see different perspectives, and that's valuable to me. Mm-hmm. Some people will be like, I don't want her. We have our debates, and she knows. Like, I know I can't push her too far, because then she'll start getting upset. So I'm like, no, we gotta stop it here. But at the same time, it's a lot of things that people look at as submissiveness. Literally, they just want their wife to respond to them in a way that is not abrasive. Like, I don't want to go to war with you.
Right. Over a decision.
Exactly. Right. I just want to be in your presence, and we can talk and we can do things. But if you keep that level of even keelness, that peace that you bring them up, that's it. Right. That's all the submission.
What I would also add to that is I would say my answer is being submissive is just knowing how to follow leadership. Not only follow leadership, if you were a godly Christian man, if we are following the steps of Jesus Christ, Jesus was a servant's leader. So if you submitting to the correct person, I'm leading in a way of what's best for my family. So you submitting to my leadership is in turn going to help you out in the long run. And furthermore, when you're submissive in the correct way that God wants you to be, and I'm not talking about submissive, like I said, where we like the 50 Shades of Grey stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I don't need a slave. That's not what we're talking about when being submissive. Mm-hmm. But when you are allowing me to be a leader and you're entrusting me to be a leader, 99% of the time, whenever I got decisions that I want to make, I'm finna go, baby, I need to hear how this sounds. And a lot of the times, my decision is gonna be based on what's best for us, not what's best for me. So your submissiveness is gonna make your voice louder than arguing with me. Because now you argue with me and I'm like, I'm defensive about it. I gotta argue your point and make your point wrong now and stand on something that's wrong.
Yeah, did we all messed up?
Because now we gotta fight. Now we're gonna fight. When you gonna fight, you don't fight fair. You be punching in the nut. Listen, if it's a big challenge, you know, I gotta do whatever I gotta do. If it's a 6'10", 500-pound man, I gotta do whatever I gotta do to win this fight.
That's right.
And a lot of times, it's not gonna be playing by the rules. So when that happens, then you get away from the actual essence of like, how can we actually reconcile? Right. Because now, since you're responding in a way, now I feel like I gotta respond in a way, and it messes us all. It messes us both up. So then now you don't want to submit. I don't want to lead you. I want to fight you. You know.
I would even add on my fault before you go. If you look at, you know, leaders in other places, all right, we're not talking about relationships, but look at leaders like head coaches. Is it good?
Go ahead.
If you're looking at leaders as in like head coaches, a sports team, or even pastors, like the guy that's gonna be closest to them is gonna be the best assistant. It's gonna be the guy that is the best helper to them. You being submissive is gonna make your voice louder. That is all I'm getting at.
Definitely.
I think part of the reason with submission is, once again, it goes back to just not submitting to the right person. Because if we look at it from a biblical standpoint, and I had to pull up the scripture, you know, it says, women submit to your husband in all things. And in the very next verse, it says, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church, as he died for her.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're going to come under somebody who will give their all for you.
Right.
That's the reason why you don't want to come under somebody, because you know he don't care about you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, you know, I'm just trying to figure out me right now. Well, of course you don't want to do that. But somebody's like, well, I would literally die for you. I would literally give my all for you. I would literally do everything for you. Then it comes easier to be like, bet if you're willing to go that far for me, then I'm willing to let you lead and I'll follow. But lead and follow, like you were just saying, like assistants are important. Like I don't make no major decision without talking to my wife. I'm not like, oh, I'm honcho, I'm the big man. Like I talk to her about everything. Sometimes I need to make a decision, you know, because I'll just be like, babe, what do you think we should do? Right. You know, so I think we made submission scary. But really, it's just to make sure we have order, so we don't have two people fighting each other at the top of the relationship. It's like, okay, if you want to be the leader, then you got to be willing to die for her. Like, there's no scripture that says, in women, love your husband as Christ died for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, the responsibility of having someone submit to you, you actually have to be willing to die. So, honestly, I mean, it might be better to be the submissive one. Like, the responsibility. The responsibility is on the other person.
Because that's the thing. You don't want a man that's going to push you down in a zombie apocalypse so that he can get away. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. You want a man that's like, you're going to be like, hold the door. You're going to be holding the door.
Hold the door.
He's going to be holding the door for you so you can get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. And so in order to do that, God set things in place in order for us. He gave us the directive like, hey, you got to be willing to die for them. And if you're willing to die for them, that means you have their best interest at heart and their survivability at heart. And so I'm trusting that any decision that you make is for the betterment of her first, because you're the one who's willing to die. You got to give your life, and so that's
and I think some people take that so lightly, because especially people that aren't that never have to experience that. But at the end of the day, dog, if I'm willing to give up the one thing that I can never get back, it don't matter how hard I pray. It don't matter how close I am with God. It don't matter if we are best friends and I talk to this man in his ear every single day. I'm still willing to give you the one thing that he says I'm not getting back. And that's the most powerful thing ever.
No greater love than this.
Nope. Right.
Y'all want to dig into one more?
Let's get one more.
We got about 20 minutes left.
We good. Let's do it.
Let's dig into one more. Okay. Do you have any more questions? Okay. Do you feel as a man you should pay 100% for everything in a relationship?
We kind of answered
Yeah,
that.
we dug into that.
All right, let's get a new one here. Does a woman knowing how to, is a woman knowing how to cook a deal breaker for you? It says does a woman know, but is a woman knowing how to cook a deal breaker for you?
So not knowing how to cook?
Right.
Yeah, I would guess.
Are you willing to learn?
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm saying. As long as you're willing to learn, as long as you can get on
that's
TikTok, follow some instructions.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you
Hello
straight.
Fresh.
I don't need you. I love Hello Fresh.
Yes.
Now listen,
Fresh
if
fire.
I was a chef, then it's not a deal breaker. Because if I was a chef, and that's what I did as a profession, I'm
This
pretty
is
sure
what I
I'm
do.
gonna
I
be
got
pretty
it.
picky about how the food
Absolutely.
was cooked
Yeah.
and everything.
That's
And you know, then I'll do it. But I'm not no chef, so.
Yeah, as long as you're willing to learn. But if I'm the deal breaker is getting with a woman who's like, I'm not gonna cook for you.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
it
that's the
don't
deal
make
breaker.
too much sense because man, we're not gonna lie about this. A way to man's heart.
It's through his stomach. Listen, let me tell you something that happened to me. This lady cooked for me one time, and I didn't even know how much I was going to appreciate her cooking for me. I said, if you're going to do this all the time, we're going to have to speed this up. You know what I'm saying?
I send my wife IG recipes all the time. Like I just be scrolling, that look good. Maybe we get this tonight. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
no better feeling. You come home
Oh my god.
and she cook and you smell it. I'm like, you know what? I come over there, I kiss her. Hey baby, how you doing? You got some food?
He reminiscing right now.
Man,
It ain't no better feeling.
it's not.
Like coming home to a home cooked. It is not like that's one of the things that my credit card.
Yeah, it gets
Like, here it is. Boom. Take it. What do you want to do? What
What
like
do you want to do?
you need your feet rubbed?
like,
Like
oh, my wife make this macaroni and cheese. She put the heavy whipping cream.
And the
in
better
oh
it
my
tastes.
Gosh.
The better it tastes,
The
the
more
more
you'll
you want to
do.
do. You know what I'm saying? You ain't worried about rubbing the feet. Cause normally I'll be fussing. I'm like, man, I rub your feet again.
I think it's a chemical. Like I
Yeah,
think
it's something special
It's
about
chemical.
it's something special about
Like-
a woman doing it too.
Right. Because it's something about like when you eat some good food, like there's something that goes in your brain that makes you think more stuff. Like I come home and we could I'm listen. I'm so serious when I say this. I come home to a home cooked meal and all of a sudden, like I see the crook in your shoulder that I want to get out.
Let me help you
Like,
with that. Let me help you with
I
that.
see the ashiness on your feet. I'm gonna put some when
I'ma
I
rub
eat,
on you,
I see
girl.
that. When I come home and we gotta figure something out, like
You'll
now
see
my
that.
brain is
see
on
nothing.
that.
You'll see
I don't see,
nothing.
I
I don't see no dishes in the
Don't let it
sink.
disappoint you too.
Dog,
You go
I'm
somewhere.
y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Y'all think I'm lying. I swear, this is 100% true. Like chemicals create these things that we see after we didn't eat a good home cooked meal. I'm not lying to you.
That's good.
Yeah, listen. I said it. When that girl cooked for me, I feel like y'all seen that video. I first saw it on Facebook, and the dude was about to tell his girl about why he got to break up with her. Then he started eating the food, and he said,
It's like
"You make this? You by
He's
yourself?"
like, he took his shoes
No,
off.
he said, this is a taste I've been looking for. Yeah, I need this. Look, this is what we gonna do. We gonna figure it out. I'm gonna bring myself here, bring my PlayStation, everything right here, and you want to get married? What kind of wedding you want? You want a big wedding? You want a small wedding?
Man,
It's something about that.
it's crazy. There's this little kid on Instagram that I've been seeing. Little kid with glasses, little black kid, and his mom cooks some like meals all the time, and like good meals, like they look amazing. And he's talking about the people in the comments like, man, his wife, man, she gonna have to be able to throw down.
Yeah,
You already spoiling this boy like this.
yeah.
And when he get older, and I'm like, man, that's the truth.
She'll
Right,
do something.
Because guess what? He ain't gonna be able to
Some
accept
chef
just
boy
no
meat.
like
Yeah,
no
Nothing
stir
out the
fry.
box.
That's it. You know, it's just like it gotta be something more.
something immaculate.
Yeah.
Y'all looking at
Oh,
questions
yeah,
you want to
I
ask?
saw that one. I thought that was a stupid question.
Go ahead, ask another question. We
What's
got
wrong with
like 20
Some of
minutes
these
exactly.
We went over. That's the right time.
Look, you should put them to the
Body
side
count.
instead of back
I
in
know.
there.
We answered that. We kind of answered everything.
It was one that just said, "Why do men have wandering eyes?"
Yeah. And
Oh,
then
it's-
one
I
was
was like,
about
"Cause
why
we're
do
not
men-
blind." That's
Yeah,
all.
just, they
and why
work.
would a
That's
man
all.
cheat on a good woman?
Oh, that's got nothing to do with the woman first and foremost. If a man
Yeah.
cheats, it's not because of you. it's because of his lack of discipline in that moment. Now, whatever led to that could be a long list of things, but he was undisciplined in the moment.
It can be because of you, but you talking about a good woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you've been decent to him.
They'd be like, why would he cheat on a good man? Because he has a problem. That's
Yeah,
why.
Right.
You know?
And another thing.
Why does crack addict do crack? You know what I'm saying? Cheaters don't cheat, crackheads don't crack. You know what I'm saying?
I like this one.
Go ahead, ask me.
What is one disadvantage of being a man?
Okay, emotional connection to things because
he has fingers out.
no, emotional.
I was ready.
He was ready. I was gonna name a couple things out too, but yeah, emotional connection to certain things. Although men, we are emotional too. Sometimes we don't realize how serious something is in some cases because we're not looking at it from that standpoint. I think when it comes to even women have better memory when it comes to stuff off rip to me, just because they attach emotional value to things more than we just attach practicality. So if it's something that we feel like we need to remember, just because practically okay, whatever. But if it made her feel a certain way, she gonna remember.
Never forget.
But we let those feelings we ain't dealing with this.
We really compartmentalize a lot.
Yeah, okay, yeah, this made me mad for a little bit, but man, I'm not finna keep being upset about this. I'm done with this, or whatever. So I think that could be, but that's why we need women. We need that kind of part. We need that other.
I think a con is that off rip, I gotta die for everyone who's not a man. It don't even matter if I
women and children in the boat first,
real time.
Right, no, real. So I got a classroom full of kids. If somebody come in there they're looking at me for anything, if I'm with a kid who I don't know just walking and somebody shooting, everybody, if there's a video of it and I start running, a little kid, right. I off the rip, I gotta die.
Never met the kid a day in your life.
Right. I gotta jump on the kid. I gotta be a shield for him.
You can have 12 kids at home, and if you left that one random kid,
that is true.
No, women don't have that. Women or kids don't have that expectation on them that they gotta die.
That sucks.
And I got one.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
No, go ahead.
The constant pressure of the success of the family, because it's all up to you as a man. Yeah. Let a woman not be able to feed her kids and have to get some help. She's such a good mother. Let a man not be able to feed. Why he ain't got 3 jobs? Huh? If it's still daytime outside, he can go do another job. I used to cut grass. And everything. A marriage fall apart. Oh, I feel so bad for her. Blah blah blah. What did he do wrong? You know what I'm saying? There's a constant pressure for the success of the family. It's on the man. It's all up to you.
Yeah. I almost forgot in a slight second. But another thing is, as a man, I have to stand on my respect. Because once these lions see that you can't stand for yourself, they attack. And so if a girl get into it with another girl, a girl could just be like, oh, I'm too good for this, I ain't finna do nothing. Yeah. But if a man is disrespected and a man is like, oh, I look too good to fight, everybody, you just lost respect. Now every man is about to try you because you show weakness. So as a man, you could show no weakness in this world, and I think that's and a lot of women be like, why is he always on guard? Because I can't show weakness in this world.
Yeah, that's a fact. I got one thing that's a con about being a man. It's only a con because the opposite is true for women. As a man, you don't get anything just for being a man.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You get nothing for being a man. As a woman, you can get a lot. You're like, why'd you get that? She's a woman.
And
not true. What?
And then Chris, wait. Chris Rock said the only people that's love unconditional is
dogs and
children and puppies.
Not dogs.
Yeah.
Because it's like a man is only loved unconditionally as long as he provides. Because, let him stop providing. Well, what that lazy man doing? You know what I'm saying? And I believe that, it's very conditional.
Yeah, conditional.
Now, the right woman will make it unconditional. I'm just saying, society-wise, it's conditional.
I want to get in the club for free.
You don't matter how cute you are.
You know what they say?
Men don't have pretty privilege.
Yeah.
Exactly. Women, men have to, like they say, men have to create their value. Like
women are born with it.
Women are born with it. That's right, naturally. So, you know, if you're pretty and you're of age, then you'll have all the suitors in the land, you know, asking for your hand. But like, you know what I'm saying?
You really
if
have to say pretty. You don't even have to.
You're right. You don't have to be pretty either.
That's
you
a
can
fact.
just be look decent and.
Not even that for something. Listen,
that's it.
It's being a woman is a powerful thing.
It's somebody made a point like, of course, these are on all these weird podcasts, but somebody made a point like, if a woman in the club was just like, "Hey, I need a man to take home with me," and just sat in the club, she's gonna have.
It's gonna be a long line. Who said that? I saw that. I think it was a.
But if a man get in the club and say that, they not even gonna hear
he's a creep.
Yeah. And guess what? I'll argue it really don't even matter how good looking the man is. If he get in the club and say that, but now if
his
he has,
status
if
will
he
change
has
that.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
If he has status, then of course.
Yeah, money speaks loud. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm over here thinking about certain things, and I'm like,
You
that's all true.
right.
I got one more question. This will probably be the last question that we ask, and I'm gonna ask this to you specifically. Whenever you get a new thing of deodorant, okay?
Oh my God.
Listen. Well, no, I'm being serious. Whenever you get a brand new thing of deodorant and the top, the plastic part is on that, how do you take it off? Answer the question. How do you remove the new plastic on the top of the deodorant?
It's embarrassing. It's probably really.
Go ahead.
I'll be like,
Why?
Listen, it's wild. But guess what? It's not weird because she do it, she do it, his girl do it, his girl do
I
it.
can't take it off, so I'll be like,
It's not hard.
You know you can twist
You
it.
can twist the bottom.
I was always fighting.
Hold on.
Did you bring one?
I'm here sweat because I was like, ooh.
That's so funny.
The thing is,
I
when
didn't know
I asked
you
my
were
girl this, she kind of argued after me. No, sometimes it just be too hard, and I was like, sweetheart, it's like it's not hard. It's just it just like you can flip it over.
And
Look at
twist
this.
it, like what? That
You see that? That's all you gotta do.
You turn it, and then guess what? When you take it off, it's already ready to roll on. You just go.
This is it.
That's crazy.
Y'all over here.
She was like, sometimes it be stuck. I was like, no,
Stuck
no,
how?
No, it's not stuck.
So I just
You
I
so you never.
gotta show you the TikTok so you
This
can
is
see
it.
somebody with it. That's crazy.
This is all you gotta do. It come right off. It come off like that.
I didn't even
I was like, they
know.
must be like,
that
I
you
didn't know that y'all
I
did
didn't
that.
I didn't know.
either.
It's also on TikTok.
I had no idea.
I was disgusted. I found that out. Like you
like,
put
they
deodorant
gotta be
right next to you. I'm like,
disgusting
that's kind of.
Yeah.
And
I was like, they
this,
about to be like, she nasty. So I was like,
It blew my mind. So I'm
you know,
watching the
someone
video.
else might have touched
They
that.
might have, but I can't get it off. So I'm like, I gotta go
You
ahead.
gotta do what you gotta
And
do.
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
use
even
this
think.
deodorant.
So roll it
They
in. I
didn't
didn't
think
even
twice
think.
about it.
Like
So
when
let
I
me
seen it, I was
put
like,
it on
wow,
my
that
mouth.
makes a lot
But
of
the
sense.
crazy part about it is, it's just like
Stupid once.
the crazy part is I never knew
Twist
that
it
that's
up.
what y'all did. Like
Oh,
never.
no.
I thought everybody
I never
just.
knew
She
that.
said, "Wow."
I just saw her doing it.
You feel stupid, huh?
I ain't never,
Like, what was
I ain't
I
never
doing?
tried that.
Wow.
I can't believe it.
It's a grenade. Well, yo, when you sent that video, I definitely sent it to my lady. I was like,
I'm
yo,
glad I'm not
I
the
need to
only
know
one.
how you do this.
Nah, you're not alone.
Most,
Trust
if
me.
not all, women do that.
Yo, that's
That was
crazy.
hilarious. I'm like, where are we going with
I
this?
didn't know people.
Yeah,
did that
I
good.
appreciate you playing because I think that was a great last question. To end it off.
Absolutely.
That was great.
That was
Listen,
hilarious.
ladies and
That was a great
gentlemen, we appreciate your time today. We love each and every one of you. To Corey, to Nicole, thank y'all so
Thank you,
much
thank
for
you,
spending
man.
some time with us today.
Love you, Corey.
You know, sitting down. We truly appreciate you. We appreciate all the questions that came in, the dialogue, the honesty, the sincerity. All of that was amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what we need from you. We need you to smash the like button. We need you to subscribe. And then we need to know your thoughts. So get in the comment section and let us know what you think about these things. But with that being said, this is the Three Good Guys podcast. And we are out of your hair for the day.
Adios.
You did that on purpose.
You want to stop yours?
Why did he do you like that?
What?
Talking about we out of your hair.
Relax.